How's it going? Just didn't go today. Rest. I just do what I'm told. Um, no, I think we're just kind of taking it day by day. We want to try and assess it each day as it comes. Nothing special. I was just really locking in and doing what I'm asked to do when I'm asked to do it. It was a really good um, session when you guys were not out there. So yeah.
Well, you faced in the past, you faced Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator. Now you're facing Mike Zimmer. What differences have you seen in terms of the Cowboys' defense as opposed to what you've seen beforehand?
Well, they got really good talent. They've had really good talent over the years. Competing against them, I think they got great DBs, and obviously up front, the way they rush the passer, they do that really well. Always have done that really well, and so we just got to come in ready, keyed in on our assignments, and um, you know, expecting a tough one.
When you have a rusher like Micah who kind of lines up everywhere, are you able to locate him on every single play?
Yeah, I think your mind takes you, to play. You're trying to execute. You're called to execute. Takes your mind to a certain space in terms of where your eyes are, where you're starting, who you're keying, and who you're focusing on. So it's relative from play to play.
Lane Johnson mentioned that he and some linemen during the bye week suggested maybe running the ball a little bit more to help out the offense. And you've mentioned you like playing under center. How important has the conversations or the collaboration between players and coaches been for this winning streak here?
Well, I like to win. I don't. It's not a specific formula for it. Um, that's what I love. That's what I enjoy. I know my teammates enjoy the same thing, but there's a process to that. And we talk about being multiple, being able to do different things, being able to attack different people in different ways, and that takes being able to do it all. So it's a matter of when you do those things and really being good in those things. You heard me talk about 1,000 kicks, and that goes to the reps, the number of reps you put into a lot of different things. So um, it's the same old spiel in terms of building a rapport, getting in sync because it's a challenge when things change often, but we just want to continue to keep building off of where we are and where we're at now.
Jalen, when it comes to division games in general, when you're familiar with the foe at least a little bit more, how does that change things, or does it that much when it comes to
It's just a team that you see more. So obviously, the more you see a person, the more um, used to them you are in a sense. Not in a standpoint of being comfortable, but it's you see them more commonly, and so this is a really good group, a really good team, and they always compete at a high level, and we know it's a tough place to play.
What have you learned about Saquon, either being his teammate or seeing him up close that you weren't aware of when he was on a different team?
I didn't really know him well. Obviously, being on another team and watching him from afar and coming up through around the same time in college and seeing what he did at Penn State, I always thought he was a great player. And I see him being that great player and taking it to another level.
what would get in Dallas? It looks like Dallas is getting closer. He feels like he might be ready this week to get a player like back this week, and potentially what Grant has been able to do and having both of his options.
It'll be cool this week to see how we can get everybody involved. Obviously, having Dallas back is a big piece and a big component for us, and we're all excited about that.
You spoke after the game about throwing the pass to Devontae and not physically seeing him at the instant that you're releasing the ball. How long does it take to get to that point with a receiver where you have that kind of symbiotic connection?
There's never a point where it just snaps. You know, it happens. You just build and build and build, and we've been building for a very long time. It dates back to his recruiting visit to Alabama, where we didn't go party, we didn't go do anything. We had no interest in doing anything but ball, and we threw routes on there. And you know, those are the little stories that I hold near and dear, because those are the things that change the trajectory. And honestly, those are the small things that helped this team this year. You know, those small connections and those little pockets of moments that we've had. So it's all about building.
Jalen, in terms of the quarterback room in total with Kenny and Tanner and Will, what did you notice from Kellen and Doug's influence on how you guys can get information to get the most out of that position? What is the way that room operates?
Say that again?
How do you guys work together in terms of providing information separately to get the most out of that position?
Separately?
Are there other things that each person kind of looks at? I mean, how do you guys?
Oh, okay. Everybody has a different eye for the game. You know, I think it's been different rooms, different people over the years. I think for me, I've always thought it would be cool to have that older guy in the room. And I haven't really had that consistently. Obviously experienced Joe for a little bit. Had Marcus last year. He had a lot of experience, and then Gardner was a very smart guy. But we're all relatively the same, around the same age, and I think it's great. Obviously, Kenny and his background and his experiences in his career and what he's been able to accomplish, and Will, being around the way a little bit, but still having a ton of knowledge, and being with Coach Doug and Coach Kellen previously helps, and Tanner and his perspective and eye for the game and systems that he's run before. It's all helpful.
So Jalen, between your conversations with Nick during the bye week, Lane, and some of the other offensive linemen talking up as well, have you noticed something about the level of player investment from this particular group?
Player investment, what do you mean?
Just the level of commitment to ensuring that the best product possible is being put out on the field, the way that people are speaking up to make sure that you guys are playing winning football consistently.
I've never questioned the investment of the players. I think we've always been invested into trying to put the best product out there.
The leadership maybe is a better way to put it then. What are you noticing in that respect, that you're having as many people as you are being vocal in order to achieve that?
I think that's always been something that's happened.
On the quarterback sneaks, what did you see on film?
Ain't much to see. We didn't get it. We didn't get it.
It's been a money play for you for a long time. Is it what the defense is doing, or is it something on your end? How would you assess it?
No, I think a little bit of everything. It takes all 11 to make it go, and credit to them. It's definitely been a challenge. So we'll see if we can overcome it.
Jalen, back in September, you had mentioned that you were in the process of getting into a communication flow on game days with Kellen and Doug and also Will. What value has Will brought to your group, especially on game day in his role, given his familiarity with Kellen and Doug in the past?
Yeah, I think it's he played a big role early on in the offseason. I think just being that player and having that experience with them and spending time with them and being in that system and that offense and being coached by him, I think that was a big point where he was able to just build and have conversations and do those things. And then, once I grasp it, have full grasp of it, and continue to build, you try and kind of make it all come together and get in sync. And so I think I think he plays his role in that. I don't really know how to define that. You know, he's supportive in it. He's vocal. He says what he sees. But I think that's what everyone in the quarterback room does. And so we're all invested into helping everyone try and be their best.
Defense been different. Dallas defense been different without Micah and DeMarcus, and then with Micah potentially playing on Sunday. What will that do to that?
Those guys are great players on the edge. So it's always different when you're in absence of a great player. And so you know, you gotta prepare for whoever is going to go out there and play. But ultimately, we know those guys are game changers, and we got to come ready.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.